Good morning. Sandy here at my little Eden garden. Well, the tree has been cut down and I got home from work yesterday afternoon and I was really contemplating how to fix all the scuff marks in the yard from where the tree and the branches and all were drug off, because it really tore the yard up. But there were a lot of sawdust around the trunk of the tree that was left where they couldn't cut it straight as well. And there's a big hole. So let me turn the camera around and show you what we're working with. So here we are. This is the flower bed that was dug up. This is the other flower bed that was beside of it. This is the flower bed in front of it, right off my front porch. My puppy's laying over there in the yard. And I literally have plants and pots everywhere. But it's okay, because now I can recreate this bed with a little bit more structure, we'll say. But let me show you the tree trunk here. This thing is massive. See my puppy? This thing was massive. He did say that he would think that this tree would probably be 100+ years old. And this was the hole down inside of the trunk. But he did leave a trunk. Couldn't get all of it because of the way the roots grow away from the tree. There's so many roots. I mean, these are big hunkers right here. I mean, they are humongous. But there's these little, some type of pine trees that are growing. This one got notched a little bit as he's trying to cut the trunk. And got covered up a little bit with sawdust, but a little bit sticky. There we go. So I'm thinking maybe those will grow. We'll leave them there and we'll see. But I am going to do a test run on seeing if you can plant a tree in a trunk that has rotted out. I've read on the internet where it's not a good idea, so it won't be an actual tree that I bought, but maybe one that I'm repurposing that I dug up from somewhere else. And we're going to try a mimosa. Being that I have this grand mimosa over here on this side of the yard. This started out a little over 4 years ago as probably about 3 foot high. It was just a little tree stump down in my brother's yard. He has passed since, but he was sick with pancreatic cancer. And he got out there and was digging this tree up because it was just out in the middle of his yard, growing where his father-in-law had left it, I'm assuming. And he just didn't like it. And he was going to dig it up and throw it out in the woods. And I was like, oh no, let me have it. So, of course, my sick brother, and I asked to let me do it. And he's like, no, I can do it. So he did. He dug it up and gave it to me. And I brought it home, and this is where I planted it, on the other side of the walkway. So I really have a mess. I've got a lot of power washing to do on top of everything else. But I am going to, because this ground had been so well amended with soil that I had brought in and spread out and planted plants in it. I've got good dirt to work with. And I'm going to change things up a little bit. I have this palm tree that was a house plant for years, and it was growing, but it was really slow. It was a little tiny baby, and it does have mud that got slung up on it, so I've got to wash it down a little bit. But it has been growing since I put it in the dirt, and I'm going to pull this thing up, and I'm going to put it over here somewhere, along with some elephant ears and some yucca plants that my other baby brother that passed 2 years ago had dug up from somewhere out of Florida and brought them up and put them in my mother's flower bed. I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them over there in this bed as well. And we have a lot to choose from of things to put over there. I'm considering digging up this, I'm guessing it's some kind of a cypress ground cover, but and it has grown tremendously since I put it in the dirt, but I've got a branch that's dying off here I've got to cut off, and so I am going to move it over here. And then I have a lot of other things that are in pots that need to find a home. Many things that I dug out of this bed that I've got to recreate again as well. I do have some irises back here and Colonel lilies and sunflowers that didn't get hit by the equipment that was being used to move these limbs and trunk from the yard. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me, and it's going to be fun because now I can recreate this thing with a little bit more structure. And look at here, I have some kind of a salvia that is growing, and I've dug up several plants and put them in pots. I was digging around in the ground trying to find the things that I felt like were a little bit more valuable to me. Maybe not to just anyone, but because I've spent, a lot of money on plants over the years, and just sticking them in the dirt anyway, or not really having a set spot for them, just putting them in the dirt. So anyway, I think this plant right here, maybe it's a greggii, I'm not sure. I really could be wrong. But or it could be a sage, I'm not sure. But anyway, I do have some of those that are already in pots, and so there's a lot of really pretty things over here to pick and choose from, and they're just everywhere all over the yard. But I have many more plants in pots over here in this area that I had ordered recently before this tree fell, or the limb fell, and then they cut the tree down. But yeah, we're going to find a spot for all these little beauties and see where we go with that. And it has been an overcast. It's been in the 60s, low 70s, higher 60s for the last couple of days. Thank goodness. Thank you, my Lord, for the cooler weather, because I could have never done this. And because it's important to me, I believe that it's important to God that He gave me an opportunity to be able to get out here and dig up these little beauties that He's given me the opportunity to plant out here and create a lovely yard that's not so lovely right now. But this is the driveway. I got out here last night after I got home from work and got sawdust and a little bit of hay, bale of hay that I had over in this area of the yard. And I kind of strode it along the real muddy areas because we've been having some rain. Earlier on in the week, it was heavier. It's been just kind of misting today. But I can work in the mist. I've worked in the rain out here because that's just how much I love being outdoors and playing in the dirt. So we have some reconstructing to do. and figure all this out and see what to do with this lovely yard. So come back and hang out with me and let's watch the process. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you for watching this video, and hope you'll come back and hang out with me later. Thank you.